It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose. But by them understanding through those who have become Messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of a president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but we star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Welcome everyone to the 72nd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, March 26, 2019. This is a broadcast from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute and is part of the Public Education in English. My name is Rick Cramond and I'll be your host today, along with Carolina Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I believe she is ready to help direct today's activities. Hello, Carolina, are you there?
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Rick and the team which are supporting these platforms. Welcome everybody, welcome knowledge seekers. We're gonna have a lot to do today. We have received quite an overview on our wishes, which we've been working on last week, and they are all positive. Even you picked one up, Rick, if I remember, because you were within a few hours of this wish going public. They are and starting negotiating. It's a change. it's a start of a change. And I hope for the other wishes which we have been working on, that people will, when they see the first signs of the change, that it will come back with the feedback. Because from now on, we will, as we slowly start proceeding with this, the whole way we are working with the wishes is we are putting the wish down, and then it goes on the social platforms. Most of the knowledge seekers know that by confirming I am present, that the wish receives their intent and their field strength to work and to go in that direction of what the wish is standing for. But from now on, we will try to add as much detailed information of how the changes have been taking place, how the impact of the wish has changed the condition for the purpose we want that wish to serve. We have changed a few things also in the council. We are no longer working with personal names as a wish, but because we are teams and we know the importance of the creation of the wishes, is that we start working from the point we as knowledge seekers wish, and then we put the wish down, or we, the Universal Council, as a team, then the wish received straight away from the totality of the group which is working with that wish, or initiating the wish to go public, that it is a teamwork. And that has changed a lot of things. And the feedback is positive. If you remember when Mr. Keshe was explaining about the Universal Council members, how they would work and how they would interact, and how the whole setup from what took place in Dubai, the start of it, was that each representative of its language, they can bring the change for their language members, which means, let's say it's French. It doesn't matter where you are on this planet. If you divert your support towards that council member, or Spanish, or Bulgarian, or Hungarian, or English, if you start supporting that soul can deliver the intent and the change for what you are requesting for. It's again, the way as Mr. Keshe said, the more you give, the more you receive, but more with the knowledge to know why and how to support a council member, which is representing your language. The first ways that Mr. Keshe was explaining and trying to bring it in to understand is when you build your first maggraph, give your first maggraph away. You create your first ganses, give them away before you start using your own. This is within the same principle, to learn to give the support to one which you know then for that one will stand for the purpose for what you want it to serve. And that is then the returning point for the souls to learn to support, because it is the totality that will bring back to the elevation of what was requested. So if you have the wish list today, and if there is any news on the 3 wishes which came from Jamila, I do not know if Jamila is already in. Otherwise I have to call her in. Is she already present today? No. Has anyone any more information about the other wishes we made? Have you noticed or picked something up, or Rick, you did?
Yes, well, there was that one that I had mentioned in a post, and you see, I was just trying to find a different website to have a look at it. Just Hang on just a second here. Let me see if this works.
Do you remember if you put it in Telegram? Because then I can pick it up faster. Yes, I got it, Rick.
Yeah, I've got the website, but I don't want to show the website, but I can talk about it. The headline was Saudi Arabia and 10 Arab countries to cooperate on space program. And this came out Tuesday, the 19th of March, exactly a week ago. And it talks about 11 Arab states, including Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Morocco, on Tuesday signed on to the first regional team to cooperate on a space program, the UAE said. Today at the Global Space Congress in Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi. Thank you. Abu Dhabi. We attended the signing of a charter to establish the first Arab body for space cooperation, bringing together 11 Arab states, said Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum in comments carried by the government media office. So this is interesting. It goes on to give some of the details. It doesn't mention who the other states are, and I wondered if Iran was included in that. I suspect it might be, but it just specifically said Saudi Arabia, Algeria, and Morocco, and we mentioned Algeria and Morocco in our wishes last time. In fact, maybe I can. There's the wish. I wish that the Algerian nation is sovereign and free in its cities and countryside, and peace and harmony is present between all the communities and all neighbors, and so on. About the Algerian nation was mentioned specifically, and I think we got into. We talked about the Arabic community, and then we mentioned maturity is present in the following nations, and then we named a number of nations: Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Algeria, Yemen, Iran, Libya, Palestine, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Sudan, Somalia, Bahrain, Oman, Morocco, Mauritania, Tunisia, Djibouti, Comoros, and Israel. And I would bet that most of those countries are included in these 11 Arab countries that are to cooperate on the space program, which is pretty amazing that it was on that exact day last week when we were discussing all this, that they started this at the Global Space Congress was being held as we discussed this, unknown to us. And they actually signed the charter at that time, bringing together 11 Arab states. So when I read that a few hours, I think it was, after the meeting last time, I couldn't believe it. That was a really nice coincidence. So says they have an astronaut. The UAE has its first astronaut, which will blast off on a mission to the space station on September 25th. And they have 2 astronauts in training as it looks to get an ambitious space program aimed at exploring Mars off the ground. So they've made a pledge to become a global leader in space exploration. So this is interesting. I think. Is there any other things that people have noticed out in the world that might coincide with our wishes?
Moshfak or Flint, I think, do you have access to the chat room of the UC? Because the changes were posted there. If you can pick them up, that we can bring them under the wish.
Yes, okay.
Thank you, because I can't, otherwise I have to go out, copy paste them and come back in, if possible. And I think Jamila posted those positive changes.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
It's Pia here. Hi.
Hi, Pia. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to note that we saw in the Danish television that after all the floods and after we had made the wishes for Mozambique and this area with all the people who have lost their homes and so many things has happened, then I think it was 1 or 2 days after our wish for getting the help, and also we had in this wish the practical help also to come to this place where they need so many tents or whatever they need, and clean water. Then we saw in the Danish television that certainly there was a gate open which not was open before, so the truckers could come through with a lot of help to people, and especially from Denmark. We saw that they have a lot of clean water systems, send it to the place where they can simply clean the dirty water so they have something to drink. So it was like a lot of information came through that it really was possible to send a lot of help to the place. So that must have been also a movement there. I don't know if we have the wish from this. We had 2 wishes.
I think, did they appear here, Rick, in the public platform, or we created them in our private council? I can't recall where they appeared, these wishes about these conditions. Flint, are you still in the room?
We have the Universal Council give through our soul unconditionally for Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Nebraska and Iowa.
That
and
will be
for United States of America. Is that what you mean, or is it something else?
If Flint still is in the chat room, he can pick up that wish.
I'm not sure.
Hello, Flint.
The 2 that are at the bottom of this document are the ones that were made in last Friday.
Can you bring them to the platform, to Rick, please?
Yeah, they're on the screen right now. Are these?
They're highlighted. I highlighted them there on the screen. That's the ones I just read about.
Yeah, are these the ones you were concerned about?
Yep. Did you find the ones Jamila posted about her wish?
Not yet.
The one you mean a new one? We had one previous that she posted about the Algerian nation. It's highlighted there now. That was from last week, though. But
Yeah.
you're saying there's a newer one?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go out, Rick, and I'm gonna be back in a minute because
Okay.
she might have shared this. I will look for it. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I actually see the wish there for Mozambique and Zimbabwe and all those countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was one of the wishes where they got a lot of help. But of course the problems are not solved, but.
Well, we have lots of people that have added their names that I am present. I'll put mine on there while I'm waiting. Would you like to add your name, Pia?
Yes. Thank you.
Hi, Rick. I found it. Where do you want me to send it?
Can you want to?
In Telegram?
Sure, that will work if it's convenient for you.
Flint, is that okay for you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there it comes up. And that was, oh, I should have checked the time. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to go back out to find the time frame. It is important. So I will be back in a second.
Okay. That's going in, and I'll be back in and coming in and going out. It's like we're on a spaceship, and Carolina has to don the spacesuit and go outside and find something and then bring it back to the spaceship here. Speaking of which, they're supposed to have a spacewalk with all women. I think there's supposed to be 3 women doing a spacewalk, but NASA, I see yesterday, had to cancel it because they didn't have enough of the correct spacesuits to fit them all.
That's interesting.
Okay, I'm back. Flint, I sent you something in your Universal Council. No, in your Zoom chat because I could not take it out. Okay. It's something that Jamila sent me at the same time. The one you're about to pick up, which is coming from Jamila. She posted it on the 21st of March. It's also available in the chat for people which like to pick it up. And this was presented by Jamila on the 21st of March.
Yes, I got it there.
But I send you a document which I could not share. I could not transfer it to. Sometimes it limits me, or I have to open it in a different app, and I'm not so
You'll have to.
sophisticated.
I don't see it there. You'll have to send it to my UC Zoom account.
I send it in your Zoom chat.
For UC, correct?
No, your personal one.
I don't have access.
Because it appeared in the UC chat, but I forwarded it to you, to your private personal name, because then you can find it easier.
No, I don't have access to that anymore. Can you send it to my other one?
No, and I can't even copy it. That's the problem.
Send it to my other Zoom chat.
I'm going to resend it in the Universal Council chat. I think that will be the easiest way for you to be able to pick it up. Give me a minute. See you.
Caroline gets in her spaceship, exits the spacecraft on a mission in space. She'll be back into the airlock shortly.
Rick, it's Doug here. Could you put my name as being present on the list, please? Save some.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Mouse overboard. Okay, there you go, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I remember Mr. Keshe saying we don't need spacesuits. Do you remember? And he said, I wonder who would dare to go out in a T-shirt and shorts and see what happens.
Yes, right. They have kind of figured that out scientifically, and you don't just blow up instantly, and you would exist for at least some number of seconds, if not a minute or so.
It's there, Flint.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rick, Ketan has requested to put his name there too, please.
Yes, I see that.
Apparently he doesn't have a microphone, most probably. Ketan, have you noticed, or do you have any information about your wish we created for you in regards with India, Kashmir? If you can't speak, please leave a note in the chat room. I can pick it up there.
And I'll note too that people that are watching us are watching this document being worked on here in live real time, that if you wish to add your name to any of these wishes that are have gone before this or after this, you can go directly to the KF Wikipedia and just click on the edit and add your name. It may not show up immediately because I think it has to be approved if you're not already an editor. But you would be able to put your name personally on the document. So keep that in mind, or people that are listening to this broadcast and not part of the Zoom right now, they can do that, or at some point later. So it's the kfwiki.org. And you'll see down toward the bottom of the first page there, there's an icon for the public wishes. And you can click on that icon. That'll take you to, well, there's several months. There's 3 years, 2017, 2018, 2019 of the public wishes. And you can click on any month of those wishes that you wish to. And we're on the March right now. So if you have one of your own wishes or someone else's that was a favorite back at one point, you might want to add your I am present to it. I put that on all the wishes that are existing. So if you had a previous wish, then it should pretty much all of them have I am present underneath them. There's Caton's one from March 19th right there.
He has posted in the chat, Rick.
Okay.
They have noticed, he says, yes, there has been peace, but a little bit violence we see here and there. So we can reconfirm this wish, and you can put the notification on today's note from Ketan that he's reporting back that there has been peace and that the violence has reduced, and they only see here and there a little bit of violence. Unless you want to copy paste his message with the time and the date, it's in the chat room.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do.
And Rick, I sent you the document that Carolina sent, but it's from a news agency. I don't know if you can show the graphic in there, but I did translate it to English in Deepa. So it's in the telegram there if you wanted to read the
Is
update.
it possible to come a bit closer to the microphone, Flint? I can barely hear.
Oh, sorry.
Thank
sorry
you.
about that. Did you get that, Rick?
Yes, I heard that. I'm just still working on the document here. So.
Okay.
Okay, so what was I to do with the news site? Just to read it? Is that the idea?
Yeah, but the PDF's in French, so I'd put a translation there in Telegram for you in English.
Okay, so what am I to do with the document? To show it, or just to read the English?
It's up to you. What do you think of the PDF there?
Where did it come from? I don't know what this is. It's from a media company of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can't publish it. No, we can't.
But you can read in Telegram there the translation.
Yeah, as long as we tell people where it came from, sure. It's from the Media's 24 Information Exchange, something like that. And the translation from Flint, or from Flint's friend Google, Mr. Google.
Deeple.
Deeple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deeple does a better translation than Google in European languages.
You always have some better way of doing things. Okay, so it goes like this. Moroccan Sahara, start of the second round table in Geneva. The second round table for the Moroccan Sahara began this Thursday afternoon at Chateau Le Rosy in Bersons near Geneva with the participation of a Moroccan delegation alongside Algeria, from Mauritania and Polisario. The Moroccan delegation, led by Nasser Bourita, Minister of Foreign Affairs, includes Omar Hitali, permanent representative of Morocco to the United Nations, Sidi Hamedi Ould Erchid, president of the Laayoune Saikia El Hamra region, Yenja El Khat, president of the Dakhla Qued Edhab region, and Fatima El Adli, an associative actor and member of the Samara City Council. In a note published by the UN, Horst Kohler expressed the hope that this second round table would, quote, strengthen the positive dynamic, unquote, of the previous meeting held last December in Geneva. The second round table on the Sahara will, quote, allow delegations to discuss the elements necessary for a solution according to Security Council Resolution 2440 of regional issues and confidence building measures, unquote. Okay, I'm not clear what this issue is with Moroccan Sahara. Maybe it's maybe we can get some other clarification from someone who knows about that. The idea was that it was, I could put Jamila's quote in about, she says, another good news, Morocco, Algeria, Mauritania, and Polisario are having a talk around the table to find a peaceful solution regarding the Western Sahara. So this is the explanation.
Jamila, can you speak?
Hello.
Hello, Jamila.
Hello, everyone. I just came. You were reading the newspaper. What was the question? Yeah.
Do you remember you posted this in the Universal Council after the wish you created? And Rick just took part out of it, but to understand it more in depth, could you give us some more information, please?
Yeah, I said another good news for this message. Yes, because, so as you know, globally, the Sahara, Sahara is divided in different parts from different countries. And the part, the Moroccan part, since years has been, I cannot say there is a conflict because it's not a conflict I can say not big conflict, but there are people living in this area. Some of them, so the Sahara, since the Spanish left on 1976, I guess. If I remember well, they left the Sahara. They give back the Sahara to Morocco, but it was so they give that because the king at this period asked the Moroccan people, the population, to go and to walk until the Sahara to get it back. So it has been a big event, a huge event, because a million of people went walked to the Sahara from the north to the south, and they get it with peacefully, if I can say. So since that time, Morocco built, supported, and developed this area from Agadir to Dakhla. Dakhla is the last city in the south, and it happened, I can say, smoothly. But a part of population, local population in the desert, in this area, they wanted to be autonomous, to get their land back, and to not belong to Morocco nation. So many intervention from United Nations and different countries happened. But they did not find the final solution. So the discussion time to time went on the table, and every time it was missing a part, or party was missing. For example, Polisario, it called Polisario population. And so, for example, Algeria did not want to sit around the table sometimes, or Polisario was meeting Algerian without Moroccan. So, and this time, and no solution came out of these meetings. And this time I saw Mauritania, which is a neighbor and has the same frontier. So Mauritania, Algeria, Morocco, and the representative of Sahara lead. So they were around the table, and finally, that's why I said finally it's a good news, because they discussed and they were around the same table, and they find that they started a positive process to find solution for a fair solution for all the participants. So that's why I posted this news.
So the Western Sahara has been a territory that's been in dispute since 1976.
Yeah, you see here, you see this point here, but normally there is no dot point, because it has been given back officially to Morocco, because it has been, and as you know, there are another piece of land in the north, so it's very political here, which is still in Spanish, under Spanish authority, is two cities, Melilla, Ceuta and Melilla, which are in the north. You cannot see it's in the north. It's not written here because it's I don't understand. Yes, you see here, Ceuta here, close to Gibraltar, you know, you see Gibraltar, and you see Ceuta, just in the, yes, here. So here, there are two cities, which is Melilla and Ceuta. This part here in the corner is still, it's the remaining part of the Spain, when Spain was settled in the North Africa here. So it was about this part, the Western Sahara, plus another small island, very small island around Morocco. So that time, in 1975, this Sahara has been given back to in peace with from Spain to Morocco, and that's it. So now discussions are happening about the north. We don't know when it will happen, because a piece of Spain is still in the north of Morocco here. But they started the discussion, which is good, because local people, Saharan are suffering in some part, maybe here. So just to clarify the situation between Algeria, Morocco, Mauritania, and this population will be great. And I think that it comes. It's maybe it seems to be small, but it's after our wish, all of us here, which is good.
Have you noticed more positive impact from your wish, please? Since the wish was created?
Are you asking me, Carolina?
Yes, Jamila.
I saw something, but I have to confirm it. I saw. I have seen news from Morocco. The king was did something. How can I say that? He made something about the religion side in Morocco, and I have to check if it is positive. I think it's positive, but I have to have more information about it. It means that it's if it is what I think, it will give more open mind and more how can I say that, peaceful behavior among the population. So I will get back to you once I have more information and I can confirm. But I see some movement, small movement, but not very clear about if it is really something which we can share here, if it's valid to share here or not.
Would you be so kind to share how you felt emotionally with this positive result or response on this wish?
Are you about Sahara?
You know, the reactions which came as a positive response?
For example, when I see this round table, for example? Is it that?
All the positive responses which have come after this wish.
Yeah, the description is, how can I say that? I felt good, of course, and I felt I was thinking, yes, oh, I was really impressed because it's happening. Something is, there is a, how can I say, the wish triggered something positive. So I was thinking, oh, it's really working. Then I was so how can I say that? So happy that I wanted to make a lot of wishes because I was thinking that, oh, it's easy to, if it's happened like that, it's easy to make a wish. So it's really functioning. So I was excited.
I felt your joy.
And I was really, we say relieved. You say that?
Yeah, relieved.
I felt relieved because something bigger is avoid. Something. So finally, there is another way for peace, and it seems to be easier and more powerful because I feel we don't know how it is working, but it is there. So I felt relief and excitement in conclusion.
And that it was so fast.
Yes, really. It happens, I was not expecting in this side, because for me, this side was, since years, was very difficult. So I feel good because it's like I was thinking or feeling a lot of love for Algerian Algerian nation, and in the same time I was feeling happy because this area will be quiet and peaceful, and as it is part of my home, physical home, I was more excited and more happy. So I was thinking, after that, it's good if I can do it for other countries.
Has anybody else gone through this kind of emotion, analyzing when you see this kind of wish unfolding and you know you've been part of that wish? Can anyone share? And thank you, Jamila.
Carolina.
Yes, Becky.
Hi. I would like to share, if anyone had heard, there was a ship, Viking Sky, I believe was the name of the ship. It was a large cruise ship with quite a few hundred people aboard that ran into some bad weather and had engine failure. And the Norway rescue team and some local fishermen on the big barges had headed out to assist them. And I just put out all I did. I didn't really form a wish. I just made the statement, I give from my soul for the safe return of all involved. And that encompassed everyone. The first ship that attempted to arrive for rescue, it ended up having failure. And so the rescue teams had to go to the other ship. Everyone made it back out of a number of hundreds. I believe there was less than 30 injuries. So they airlifted who they could. They balanced the ship and towed it in, and with the rest of the people on. So that is a confirmation right there, just the strength of your soul. You know, I gave from my soul for the safe return of all involved. And the universe, and the energies just were flowing. And everyone worked in unison together. And it came to a wonderful, probably one of the best conclusions that you could have in a situation like that. So I am most grateful, just as an example.
When I followed that story a little bit, I was quite amazed that there were so few injuries and no deaths in that situation, because they were in heavy seas and with helicopters trying to helicopter people off. I think there was 1,400 people altogether, something like that. And yeah, it was a pretty serious situation. And it seemed to suddenly kind of resolve itself in spite of all the bad weather. And then suddenly the ship is, the next article is the ship is limping into port, and you don't see any waves in the bay. It looks like a nice day, and suddenly the trauma's over. So thank you, Peggy.
Always most welcome. Always. It's an immediate knee-jerk reaction with me when something flashes. I get the information and I just give. It's what I do, and I'm grateful to be able to do it and to learn with the knowledge seekers how to refine our wishes. Thank you, Carolina.
You're welcome. That's the part which I was trying to explain from at the beginning, that once we learn to work through our soul, it is instant delivered, or whatever name you want to call. Mr. Keshe said, zero communication time. It's just you release the field strength and it just goes. It goes the direction of the purpose to serve. And as Jamila and now Peggy and so many others of you have confirmed and get the confirmation that it is your wish, you're part of that change, and the impact is so beautiful. The joy you receive, the excitement, and that astonishing feeling, how you know, the wondering, but you've been part of it, you did it. And you ask the teams all over the place, all over the foundation, to join you in that direction of that wish. And I sensed that when Jamili brought the first response, and I received the faster response because Rick already posted it on the 19th, the first reaction on it, it's the excitement that it's flowing, it's working. My point in this is to encourage more knowledge seekers to create these kind of beautiful wishes, create them in the position that it's already done. Make sure to avoid anything negative in your wish, And as Mr. Keshe always says, my wish is my command. And I wish for a lot of knowledge seekers to receive that confidence that your wish is your command. And see what the wonders you will achieve all over this planet. And I had a conversation with Mr. Keshe. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And I notified them about, I put a wish out about creating the conditions of the oasis. And I said, can you really clarify the oasis? He says, yes. Everything in balance. That's what it means, oasis. Peace, calm, tranquility, all the fields in balance. And our discussion or our conversation took the path of, I said, yes, I'm trying to create this wish in the shape and the form for what we have seen taking place in Dominica with Tom Salas, how he showed us how the condition of the oasis can be created without interfering with the nature and the condition of the planet, and definitely not to toss it onto somebody else's shoulders. What is about to pass can pass, but we keep the people as peaceful in the condition as an oasis condition. And then I thought, with Mr. Keshe intervening last week and the week before, about, especially when we were creating the wishes about the Arabic nation, and he said, you can't do this, you have to be, you can't give them no advantage. You have to be equal for everyone. And I thought maybe today, what if we can create the wish to bring this planet in an oasis condition, for that to elevate to the level for the interaction with the universal community, and that the portals can be established when the time is right. Because if we create for the totality of this planet, which everything is included, the condition of the oasis, we don't change the environment, we don't change what needs to be done by the planet or through the planet or through whatever condition is there, because it still is an evolution and change. But above all, Mr. Keshe said, this is a planet of opportunity. Some things have to go in the mice for that to bring something new. He said, it only took, as an example, he said it only took 10 years for the dinosaurs to completely vanish from this planet because of the change of the condition. If the dinosaurs would have never disappeared, we as humanity would never appeared on the surface, because we were the mammals living hidden away from the dinosaurs. So because of their demise, he said, the opportunity was created for us to surface as we are today over so many years, and development and adjustment and whatever is involved with it. So he calls this the planet of opportunity. So if we don't meddle into the conditions of the planet, but even though as going through the same what we saw in Dominica, we can keep the animals, the plants, and the humans in a peaceful condition by wishing an oasis condition, but for the purpose to serve, for the connection and the interaction to open the gates to communicate and welcome the universal community. What do you think, Rick, and knowledge seekers?
Yes, definitely. I was thinking of that earlier when it's like whenever we make a wish and we start to define, as soon as we name a country, I'm looking at, say, Morocco, for example. As soon as we say the word Morocco with a wish, then that automatically excludes all the other 200 countries of the world because we're focusing on the one country. But for a wish to work truly well, it has to be unconditional. That's the whole thing of the wish from the soul is unconditional, even though we're in a way putting a condition on. So it gets a little tenuous there, let's say. And I think you're right in that we have to make things more universal, and also maybe not go so much for the results necessarily with the wish, because then we're starting to expect certain results, and I don't know if that is a good way to go with wishes. So I like this idea that you put forward of the oasis for the planet and a wish for the planet, or for, in fact, it's not just for the planet, it's for the benefit of all beings, really, because you're including the universal community, and the fact that the whole wish is dedicated to the elevation of all beings, not even just the planet. So I think that's a good way to go. It's almost like we need to preface our wishes with, I wish this to be for the benefit of all beings and for the benefit of, Morocco in that example that I gave. So it includes, our wish includes all, and at the same time, we can direct it to certain specifics. If we can do that. Does that sort of make sense and sort of go with what you're saying? I look at the previous one that we had we started to include the United States because we were naming all these other countries that needed support, but we forgot that the United States itself needs support too. We were thinking that it was already elevated or something, but it needs as much support as the rest of the countries of the world, really. Go ahead, sorry.
The purpose, or to create a...
Sorry, you're breaking up there. The purpose is to create...
It's because, I'm going too far away from the network, sorry. The beauty sits every time we meet on this kind of platform or in the council platform, to go back to this wish of the oasis, which is for the totality, and it's the elevation of the totality without meddling with the structure of the totality, but pure for the elevation of the totality. The wishes which have appeared, like for Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, United States, Aleppo, wherever we have directed, India, Kashmir, wherever we have directed our attention to, is for immediate crisis. But I'm trying to integrate the totality as a repetitive wish to be on our table, for the totality to evolve, for the totality to elevate, but not to lose focus on the immediate support wishes for, like, let's say, which we did, or for India we did, or Somalia, or points which are giving us a reference. There is a crisis going on there, let's elevate the situation. Those wishes can still take place. They're beautiful, like with Peggy said with the boat. I noticed it as well, that they were airlifting people to safety. I didn't know Peggy was involved with it. But that's the beauty, because that's the confirmation I exist, which we all still need until we go to that higher field state, that we are free of that. So as Jamila confirmed, it gives me joy. And this is what you can give to yourself. This is what you are giving. So don't stop wishing, for sure not. But let's take an account and put attention to one wish we create all together, oasis condition for all, because that's the elevation of the totality. And then in between, we can still work, because it's beautiful we're doing. So we stop. And if we have missed points, like Rick said, United States needs a lot of support, then table, we will create that support. Is that better understood, Rick?
Yeah, that's basically it. Is you know, ultimately, if we were already in space and not dealing with our physicality and all of the stuff of the planet, then we wouldn't need those wishes, I guess, and we wouldn't get, you know, joy from it, because it wouldn't be part of our whole mentality. But because we're here, we're on the planet, and we're experiencing life on this planet as we do in our physicality with the soul, well, then we have to, we always have certain limitations. Certain, our language itself has limitations. As soon as we say words, then it draws people's attention to those words and so on. It's kind of a kind of magic in a way. But it's true what you say. And if we go for the totality, giving the wishes to the totality to elevate all, then that's definitely a great way to go. And then from there, we can, if we keep our sort of our perspective that we have to sort of go down a level from the totality to focus on something that is of importance for this particular moment, and try to basically help alleviate the suffering from that situation, is the way I look at it. So that's part of the work that that beings do in order to evolve, to learn how to do that kind of work, to give from our soul in order to help others, to elevate or relieve suffering for others. So sounds good. How do we practically go about that in this moment, Carolina?
Again, Rick, please.
Well, how do we practically go about the wish for the totality in this moment? How did you see that?
What if we start, we as knowledge seekers, we wish to create the oasis condition for the totality of this planet and our universe.
Is that the way you said that? We wish to create the oasis condition for this planet and the universe?
And this universe, which we are belonging to.
Carolina, can I add something to that?
Sure, that's why we're all sitting on the table.
Before Rick gets too far away, we wish to create the oasis condition for all beings of this planet and the universe.
Right.
So if we add all beings at the beginning, this way we're addressing it's for on and off planet beings.
And it's not just for the dirt of the planet, but actually for the beings that are part of the planet as well. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you.
You
I have
good
a
with
question.
that, Caroline? Sorry, go ahead. Christian,
It's
is
me,
it?
probably. Yes, thank you. I have a question concerning oasis. Doesn't oasis require a desert around it? So maybe it's not positive enough, and maybe we need another word for it, which with the same meaning, because of course an oasis is beautiful. Maybe paradise or something like that. I don't know.
I am referring to the word oasis from when Mr. Keshe created or put it. I do not know if Rick still has the old picture of the oasis system, which is providing you with everything you need. So it is complete. It is as it came on our first website. It is providing you with energy, water, food, shelter, warmth, all the comfort. All beings on this planet are still exposed for these conditions to be comfortable. When you create comfort, then you create peace. Yeah. And this is because Mr. Keshe at that time was explaining to me the totality of this oasis system. And I said, why don't you put it? He says, people are not ready. I cannot. He says, they're going to kill me for it when I put this up. Or they're going to tell me I'm a lunatic. So that's what, Rick, 7-8 years ago, that this came under construction, and then it appeared on our website. You can find it in a lot of...
I'm trying to find the original picture, which is much nicer than this. It shows the actual unit with the people in a tent. I don't know if Flint might have that or somebody else that can. I'm just looking through my pictures to try to find that.
Thank you, Carolina.
I work from the point where the knowledge is released, which is coming, and purpose to serve. And that's why I, for one or another reason, it's not coincidence, I discussed this matter with Mr. Keshe yesterday or the day before, and he explained why the word oasis is for. So you have to still leave all the other conditions open. So you cannot, how can I say, like with the example of Dominica, we can, for it to be perfect, yeah, you should wish that that hurricane passes and misses Dominica, not to have such a disaster taking place. And this is exactly what we cannot do. But what Tom showed us, that with working with the knowledge and the understanding of applying the plasma fields and the Gans waters and the intent and the wish, he created an oasis condition. So you could even see the measurement of the field strength, to what extent that covered. the storm still went through. They did not model with it, but it didn't destroy nothing.
Thank you again.
This is exactly what we have to obtain with our universe. It still needs to have all the opportunities to evolve and shape the way, the path it is about to go. But we can create it in an oasis condition, which is peaceful. And no matter what happens and has to take place, you create that condition of peace. You understand?
Yes,
Yeah.
it makes perfectly sense. If I don't look at what is around and just take care, we just need to change to this part that concerns us and the other souls around us, and not try to disturb the storm going somewhere else, because maybe it is needed. So we influence as little as possible. I understand that.
We don't influence, we keep the what
balance
needs to be done will take place, but it will not create that kind of destruction as what we've seen with Dominica. You can survive because the condition you created was the oasis condition. And if we wish this for the totality of this planet and our universe, then we will increase the level of that peaceful condition. And thank you, Peggy, for readjusting the wish. I just wanted to kickstart it. And this is the beauty. If you go back to this teaching, this is just amazing. It's just amazing. A few twigs were snapped and the rest was all intact. Unbelievable. So you can imagine what you are creating with your production of your nano material and your GANS waters, and when you release them through your sink and toilet and bath and you spray your garden. This is exactly what you are already conditioning your whole environment with it. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And that's why that wish came to my attention, oasis. I said it was, and this is actually your MAGRAPH system. Not many people have discovered all the beauties of their MAGRAPH systems. Very slowly we are getting to know it. And if we bring this kind of wish under our attention every Tuesday on our platform or in our teachings or wherever we are working, then you support that condition for our planet and all, and for our universe. I am present.
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 I am present. I am present.
I am present.
I am present.
I am present.
Now, can we make
Got a
That's
a little
okay.
excerpt from Eva at the same time we could play. That's the voice of Mr. Keshe. I think it'll play if I just play it here. It's about the overriding wish. That's 30 seconds. Let's play it.
Now, can we make a wish that the mankind matures, that he can enter the universal community?
Second wish, we first need to finish this one.
That overrides this one. You just don't go with the Arabs. Listen, if you get all the Arabs mature, but you're going with all the English people who are not mature. You're going to mature them up. This is my prejudice. You're putting them ahead of others.
Thank you, Eva, for that excerpt from part of our instant communications here. She gave us that excerpt from the 71st One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. That was Mr. Keshe's wish that overrides the other wishes.
Yeah, and you know what is beautiful? That he just put water bottles around his garden with the Gans waters in it. He didn't even water the plants with the Gans waters. He just put them in small water bottles and he just positioned them everywhere around the garden. Now, if we have knowledge seekers, which are about to travel with, because summer is coming for a big part of this planet, and you carry these and you can leave them where your travel is going to take you, or you choose a destination where you know that the conditions are not so balanced, let's call it this way, and you bring your intent and you bring your Ganses to those places, or you know family members and you can ship them or send them by post and ask them to position them around the house, you can create this oasis condition very fast all over this planet. We had a few talks in our private teachings, and we were advising people to put Gans plasma water in their cars where they're washing the windows with. So you're not only washing and cleaning your windows, but at the same time, you're baptizing all cars which are surrounding you. So you're dispatching the fields wherever you travel. You can give it to truck drivers. You can go to fire stations. You can do so much by creating the balance by simply your Gans waters and your intent. And it would be very nice for knowledge seekers to go back to this presentation of Tom Salas. And if you can post the link, maybe. It is a beautiful journey. I know on the borders of his property, it looks very devastating, but the beauty sits within what you all can achieve. And where you can take it to places where no one has ever been, and even send it to people which are in those conditions. You will find contacts or a reference number and send your plasma waters with that intent. Don't forget, you are connected at any given moment the minute you send those Gans waters off. So you stay in touch. You never lose the connection. And remember the fountains and the waters and the rivers and the oceans and the lakes. You're still connected with those conditions. And it would be very nice if knowledge seekers could come on the platform by next week, as a wish from me and all of us, to bring the blueprint for the plastic. It has become a big headache for a lot, environmental and animal world. It is not, it's not a nice condition to be in. And I know for sure that knowledge seekers will and are working on this concept. Please bring it to the public platform that all other knowledge seekers can take up your knowledge and apply it so we can work together and start the change. Thank you for showing this, Rick. It was really nice. It brings a smile to your face when you can witness that this has been achieved by just simply two people working with their intent and the Gans waters. And there it is, yes. That's the Keshe Oasis unit. And it's not even complete because at that given moment, Mr. Keshe is going to have to adjust it and let it reappear on our website, but complete, because now we have reached the maturity for the totality of that information. And at that given moment, Mr. Keshe could not release it. But he always said, this is your MAGRAV unit. Your MAGRAV unit can provide you with all of this. So it also would be nice for the knowledge seekers to find all the different applications of their MAGRAV system.
If anybody would like to look at that Dominica footage, it was in the 2/19 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's just strange, but it's just what I've been working on, doing subtitles. 2/19 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and it starts at the 1:37:08 time mark and runs through past 1:39:49 time mark, and it goes on. Interestingly, Mr. Keshe also said in that section that there are hurricanes of natural cause and also man-made hurricanes of war, as in Syria, etc. So that's a really, really nice little section of the 2/19 Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Okay, we've got Ursula with her hand up here. You want to go ahead, Ursula? Thank you, Doug.
Yes, hi, it's Ursula. Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to share what I have been living the last week. I have been at a manifestation with the lamas from Tibet and many people there learning to meditate, politicians and people with very much money and very devastated also with many problems and feeding very badly, and smoking and drinking was really hard sometimes, some moments. Very excited and agitated, and then we was there, some of us, to present our activities, and so I talked about plasma science, and they understood nothing about that. They had never heard about that. And first day passed, second day passed, and in the evening there was all a table, was 20, I think, where I took my computer and then I show this movie of Tom Salhas. So it was translated in French under the movie, and so I explained it them once and twice, and another was, and so they start to look at it because this is evident, and they could think maybe that this was fake or something, but it wasn't. And then they heard some way this voice of Tom, very peaceful, very slowly, and it cannot be fake, because when we see the island devastated, can only be true. So they start to be quiet and look at it. It's not a long video, so they have pay attention to all what I have been saying. And then I show also the website of the foundation, and So it was very nice to see the transforming of the skepticism to interest. And there were also many politicians there. So I'm very happy because I took the contacts, and my husband know them because he's living there. So I'm very happy to have making an open door to a kind of curiosity. And it was very nice to share this moment, very peaceful to see them learning to meditate. And it's very, very funny. And the reactions of all of them, and then they come to me and say me, I want to know more about it. So this was what I was looking for, to have these reactions, and it was very happy moment. So then I come back here where I'm living, and today I am waiting for Gianni. He's arriving with many others from Romania to start the oasis. So I'm very exciting, very happy. And it was also very beautiful because 2 weeks ago I was to the major mairie, I don't know how you call this, and it was closed. It was a Saturday morning, and somebody comes to me and say it's closed. Oh, it's a pity because I am new here in this town and I wanted to present me. And oh, it's very beautiful. I introduced me. I am the major. This was amazing, he's never there, and I didn't know that it was closed. So we was talking about 1 hour of many things from the town, the new town I'm living now, and very beautiful one. And he tell me about many things happening in this village. So I talk also, of course, of plasma science and all the importance to the agriculture. And it's a very agricultural place here. So you see 50% more. And so I asked him a rendezvous, an appointment, and he tell me, call Monday, so my secretary will give you a secretary. It was very interesting what you are talking to me. He never heard about this. And it was he who called me by his secretary to give me this appointment. This was very interesting because it was not me. It was the major secretary herself. So I am very pleased. I'm appointment with him the 5th April. So I'm very happy also because it was his intention to know more about it. So this has been very interesting for the following of what we are expected to do as Universal Council, to go now further in this communication with the governments, with the majors. Here in France, it's maybe a little bit more delicate, and I think we must start with little communities. And he is also a regional council, so it can go very fast then. And I have many other contacts, so I am very happy to start this work we are expect to do, and I hope, and I know, and I wish this will happen and growing. So I wanted to share this with you. Don't be shy and go to talk with them, and there's always somebody who knows somebody, and it can be very fast to grow. And very happy also to initiate this oasis. This we will meet today, this evening, and tomorrow we are starting. So I'm very happy to share it with you. And we will also show this in the Spanish because Gianni who is Ramon, he speaks very well Spanish, so he do it in Spanish and in French is translated, and we can maybe subtitle this so everybody can learn in the same time to do it in his place. And this is the intention, that it can grow very, very quickly, and then that you can see what's happening with this. I have here a big house now with 7,200 square meters, so there's much to do. And we need also many, if you want to come, you're welcome, and work with us. So it's a very happy moment. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ursula. Yes,
Ursula, I think you mean mayors,
Major,
not
yes.
majors, but
Major,
mayor.
yes.
The major is in the army. A mayor is of a town.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So I wanted to get that clear for the transcribers, because they'll put in majors and thinking that it's a military that you talk to, but it's not military. It's the mayor.
No, at all. It's political.
Very good. Thank you.
He's also a regional council, so can be very interesting in Provence-Côte, Alpes-Provence-Côte d'Azur. So it's a beautiful region with many agriculture. Here we have wine, le Côte du Rhône, honey and lavender and oil. This is beautiful oil, olive oil. So can be very, very interesting, and I have many agricultors around me. The neighbor make strawberries, so he's invited to come and see and participate also, and then try it in his...
That's great. And you've got the bees as well. That's recently come up in the Plasma Journal as well, I believe, about beekeeping being important, how hands can be used with that.
Exactly.
You know, Rick, that for people who are interested, if they go and do some research, you can literally create your own bee haven in the back of your garden. You don't need to be scared of them. And if you plant the right flowers, that they have their food, they will bring you the gifts, as we know, the honey. And if you're very generous to not to touch the honey, but donate it back for the bees to survive the harsh winters, maybe a lot of knowledge seekers can start giving us feedback if they have been able to establish a beehive for so many bees that needs a new home, and especially to keep them away from being under the condition of harvesting their honey. It would be a nice concept as knowledge seekers if you can start this.
Yes, we will do it also. It's in our intention. And now we are looking for somebody who can give us this information, because I never did it. And there is it's a creator for honey, and can be also for therapy, and so he will give me the information. I'm very happy, and we will do it, of course. I have the place.
Or also maybe a good idea for the knowledge seekers to find the imkers around them and make an agreement that you can support, but that they do not take all the honey away, and that they usually do. They're usually very grateful if they can increase their bee colony, but to make an agreement that they respect what you will increase in the population of the bees, that they don't touch their honey, that they keep them safe, and that they can survive and withstand the changes in nature and the changes in the environment. And maybe also a good idea is to send like a gift to friends and neighbors and schools and children or organizations to send them packages with the typical flowers that bees enjoy, that they can survive on. Also the butterflies, and ask them just to put them in their garden as a support for the bees. So not only that you're going to be limited on what you can do, but if you also send the message out and you ask neighbors which are working and having gardens, just to create a small corner in the attention for the support of the bees. And I think you will have a great success. And for people who know people in Holland will definitely embrace it because they are creating a lot of wild gardens, also in the city.
Yes, and we will plant many lavender also, all around here, so they can. Lavender honey is the best, I think, and it's a beautiful one. And with so many lavender, they can have many food and be very happy with us. So I'm very happy about this also. Many things are coming, very many. It's
even a good tip for the people which maybe have bought their first fruit trees, and because of the weather conditions, they cannot put them outside yet. But it just came to me last week when the sunny days start coming up. The trees still cannot go outside. It's too cold at certain days and certain night temperatures. So when it's sunny, I take my fruit trees and I put them outside, and immediately I get 20, 30 bees coming. And I did a trick. I put my sambol, which is a type of crocus, and I put it outside, and the scent is overwhelming of those. Chrysanthemum, we call them as well. And they go near, they smell, but there is no food in those. So they straight away go back to my citrus small tree, and they engulch them, and they at the same time are pollinating my lemon tree, my orange tree. So it is beautiful to see the interaction where the bees can find their food and what is nourishing them and what is just a scent for a beauty but doesn't carry the food. So I saw this dance between the bees going from one to another, and they make their decision very fast to go back to the lemon tree. And the funny thing I noticed is that my citrus small tree, it's just a starter, has started producing more flowers. It would have actually stopped producing flowers, but because I put it outside and for 3-4 hours when it's very sunny and the temperature is acceptable, it has started producing more flowers. So you see the interaction between and the communication between your tree and the communication with the bees, the animal world and the plant world. And the communication is so beautiful. You just need to pay attention. They talk to you. They let you see what is a pleasure to them and what is a nourishment to them. So I was surprised to see this happening by just simply observing it from a distance. It's a beautiful world as long as you respect it and you appreciate the beauties. It gives you a lot of knowledge and a lot of information. So maybe these are quite a few ideas for the ones which want to go on that journey of exploring. It's a beautiful world.
Yes, we will. We are ready and happy to do it.
Thank you very much. Anybody, any wishes that you would like to come on the surface today? Have you noticed where there is a need for a wish? And can you please come and share it with us? Has any one of the council members wishes that need to be shared in public, please?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Dean. Peace. I'm going to put a link if you want in the chat, or if I should just send it to you directly. You have to forgive me, I've been working. My breath is out. Anyway, I have information from Paul Stamets, who is one of the foremost mycologists in the world. And he has in there how to prevent bee colony collapse, how to take care of bees, and a lot of other things. And I think that it would be beneficial for everybody here to listen through that. And then if you have interest, to follow links, of course, because it'll be on YouTube, that'll lead you into more of the work on this. But the solutions are so close at hand because the research has been done and it's already been quantified. So would you like me to put that into the chat or send it into the question and answer?
Oh, you can put it in the chat, because then people have access to it, and then Flint or Rick can put them in the other channels that people have access to it. Yes, please.
Were you looking for what solution were you looking for with plastic?
Sorry, say that again, Dee. What are you looking for?
Well, I heard Caroline ask for something about plastic, and that's just as I got into the conversation, because through the biological, through fungus, plastic has been, the culture is there to break down plastic into an edible mushroom already. And I think that'll be in this video too that I post. But I'm gonna get off because I have to go and pick my stinging nettle before I fill in a hole. And so I'm gonna just go into the chat and I will post that. And if I had a wish, my wish would be that this technology is released on a massive scale in order to bring about remediation of our souls as we live upon this planet in peace. And the link is now in the chat. So I'm going to go back to work.
Thank you, Dean.
And thank you all for all the work you've done, and peace.
Dean, before you go.
Yes.
Hello. Do you have any more information about what you shared on that fair you went to visit, the farmers?
Well, I have a lot of information on, conventional agriculture, but the things that Kesh is bringing and I want to bring are really very, very disruptive to the whole agri-industry and how it's being done currently. So I have been going for almost 30 years to see the technologies change. And what we're bringing is so disruptive, like Mr. Kesh said. We don't go to the manufacturers of, we don't go to Bayer. We don't go to the big agribusiness. We have to get this either both on a grassroots level and then in a governmental level. But challenge with the governmental level, at least in the United States where I reside, it's tied in so deeply, or it has been, with these industries, the agro-pharmaceutical, mechanical. It's all one thing wrapped up into its own little destructive pill. So I think public forum and, getting the factories up so that we have the materials to actually deliver to the farmers so they can use them in their agro practices. I think that's the most important thing that can be done. But when I go and look at the ag show, there's things that are really applicable. The mechanical aspect in many ways is really very beneficial. Monitoring of moisture and temperature, those are good. But so much of what is in agriculture is just not applicable to a sustainable, equitable, peaceful, and abundant interaction with the planet and all that live on it, including ourselves. But I did walk away, and the reason I'm out working right now is I came back with 6 fruit trees that have been grafted, so I just planted 30 different varieties of fruit. So, did that answer your question?
Thank you, Dean. We're going to let you to carry on with your job. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you. Peace be with you.
Anybody else?
Hello, good day, good evening, good night to everyone. Here is Andreas speaking. I follow a different wish, and that's the KF wiki. And in the last month, the English as well as the Spanish and German wiki were increasing and changing much. And we had 23 new user requests out of different languages in the last month. And on Friday, we have a KF Wiki language group meeting where we want to coordinate or bring in a coordination between the languages to be able to grow in the future better. And therefore, I would like to show you something on the wiki. And at the end, I need the help of the universal councils of the specific languages to communicate the meeting on Friday, 2 p.m. Central European time, that we find new editors for the wikis. If it's okay for you, I show shortly something about the KF wiki, and I share my screen.
May I ask Rick to do something real quick before he changes screens? Andreas, please. It's Peggy.
Sure, yes.
Rick, in Carolina's wish, I'll read it with you. We wish to create the oasis condition for all beings. Will you put the word on?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andreas.
We had another comment about that line that from Eva that the oasis wish, should it be formulated as if it has already happened? In other words, we create the oasis condition for all beings on this planet, or
we support. We wish to support the oasis condition. How does that sound?
Well, it still sounds like we wish to sometime do it sometime in the future, maybe perhaps.
We wish to create, we wish the oasis condition for all beings on this planet and this universe.
Right on. Okay, that's better.
I am present.
It would be nice, Rick, in this when you explain when the topic of the wishes comes up, it might be very helpful for the knowledge seekers or people which come and visit to see explanation how to build up a wish and the points they have to take in according to the way they want to create their wish. And the purpose why to put the wish in the shape and the form as we suggest. And then people will start or will be able to adjust their wish in the proper format. And please add a small information that please give us the right to adjust your wish in the correct format. If we see that there is something that can be improved. So I think that will be beneficial for everyone to do so. Also, before we go to Andreas, we have on our web page on the Keshe Foundation website, under the Universal Council, we have all the languages which are still open for council members and definitely for support council members. We need your support to come in as a council member in the language, not only your language, because if you're multi-spoken language, you are more than welcome. Every soul is welcome to come and help and support the whole creation of this work. Not only the one planet, one nation, one race, but to support the council members, to support the wiki, to support the indexing, translation, transcribing. That's where the support members come in and they do a beautiful work. They come in as hosts, they come in as co-hosts. They are like the little bees supporting the whole network. So we welcome all of you for whatever language you want to come in as a support member. We will embrace you with everything we can give you, and that is love. Thank you very much. I give it to you, Andreas.
Thank you, Carolina. As you know, we started the KF Wiki project, I think about 10 months ago, last year. And I was one of those people who said, okay, I will help at the KF Wiki. And other people did too, and we created the wikis in different languages. But at the point, I think we all haven't had really the knowledge, how to prepare the knowledge, how to work with the wiki, and we had to grow. And since 3 months or 4 months, I had the wish in the students chat that we make the wiki to a place where everyone goes in with pleasure to work on the wiki, to insert knowledge, but also for people who are searching for knowledge, that they find knowledge and it makes fun to read through the wiki. And so I started with the structure which was important to find easier through the knowledge. And in the time till now, we have every week a KF Weekend transcriber meeting at Friday, 8 p.m., where we show, or I show every time what is new, what have I done, then we discuss in a group about it. But also we had, for example, Peggy. I show what she has done in the last 2 weeks, who came in and who say, hey, I have an idea, I prepared different topics, please help me, how can I insert that on the wiki? And at first I want to show you, last One Nation, we had the wish, or Carolina had the wish, that we have a page where all wishes are. Rick explained it already before. Here we have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace page. And if you click here, here are all the wishes from every month. And if you click on July, you come to the wishes from July. And so you can click through every month and you have all wishes. If you want to add a wish or to add a I am present, if you have no account, you can click on the right top of the page on request account, go through the form, and then you, when you finished everything, you press on request account, and then you get the email, and you have to confirm your email address, and then your account will be checked and approved, and then you can log in and enter what you want at the whole KF Wiki. The thing is, for Friday, where we have a KF Wiki language group meeting, that we had 23 user requests in the last 1.5 months out of different languages, and we do not have editors who control and approve the work of these users. So that means now that there are users who make work, but this work is not published because there is, in different languages, nobody who is able to or who can confirm that. And so I need, or the wiki needs the help from the universal councils that we have these languages. And if you could write in your language groups that on Friday is the meeting and everyone who is interested should join the meeting at Friday, 2 p.m.
Andreas, I got a message from Flint to mention that the meetings are in the private teaching side of the Keshe Foundation. Is that correct? So people need to be in the UC or students of the Keshe Foundation in order to join that meeting?
Thank you for this. This is only private. And the thing is that there are people outside who don't want the best for the Keshe Foundation, and we cannot control every new user completely, 100%, and so we cannot make everyone which we don't know to an editor. And the only possible way is for us to start at first with editors which we know, which are students, which with which we have contact every time, and also with which we can communicate every time, which allows us Zoom. And therefore, the first step is the wiki meeting on Friday, the KF Wiki language group meeting. And there we speak about how we make it in the future with approving the work of normal users, because there are a lot of users who want to make something. And also the restructuring of the wiki is a topic. For example, we have the Spanish wiki, where we had a look in the transcriber and wiki meeting, and suddenly we saw, wow, there is somebody who is making the Spanish wiki. It's Valdo from Venezuela, who is at the meeting on Friday too. Or we have in the German wiki, which makes Martin. And on Friday, we have a first meeting for that to answer all questions or possible to answer most of the questions for the growing of the wikis in the future. Yes. What I wanted to show you before too is we have here now the One Nation page, where we can click on the Universal Council. Here that is only the description from the Keshe Foundation website, which is inserted here. And there are missing a few things. Or we have the Earth Council constitution here. And the most of the things I have done here. And what I want to say is we need not only editors, but users too, or general people who want to work on the wiki. In the time between the last month, the pages on the wiki, I think we had like 105 on the 1st January, and now we have 616 pages here. A lot of the pages is Pete is doing with the plasma times. We have also every plasma times issue here, where you can click on the different articles out of the plasma times. Here, for example, I inserted, when you click on, this is an article about a product. So it's available on the Keshe Foundation store. So we can come there directly on the foundation store if somebody wants to buy it. Or we work in the, this is the introduction to plasma science page, which has another look, which has at every subchapter links to, for example, at Mr. Keshe, at the biography, interviews, published papers, books, public teachings, or the Keshe Foundation, or the essence of plasma technology, or the basics of plasma technology like emotion and soul, nano-technology, GANs, or even, of course, the plasma technology in exchange for world peace and different articles to it, or the World Peace Treaty, or the One Nation side. And very less people are working on the English wiki, and so everyone who wants to be part of it is lovely invited to do it. We have our own ethos, a private ethos meeting where we speak about the ethos, what is ethos, how we describe it, and now for example, the introduction to plasma science is written, let's say, very in a physicality way. And our wish is with this meeting, extra for the KF Wiki and for all of us, that we have an introduction into plasma science page where it is written in the feeling of the ethos, where everyone who reads it and who comes new to this page and want to have first informations that he feels the ethos. And so we work on different levels at every chapter here. For example, the health section, which has a lot of subcategories, like the virus category. There is not much in it, only article from the Plasma Times or GANS processing of viruses that are old things from a knowledge seeker workshop. Or we have even categories where nothing is in it. And with that, we had the idea of that was that we create a structure with categories that people just have to come to the page and have to have every category already and are able or just have to make our own page and to link it up in a category. That means that they have it as easy as possible to fill the wiki up with knowledge. And there's so much that I lost a little bit the try. Every one of this, I lost a little bit the track now, sorry. And every part here, like the World Peace Treaty, when you click on it, here's the World Peace Treaty or a link to download the PDF version. This is very, very much work where very less people at the moment work on it. And so again, everyone is invited to do something or invited to have a look on the wiki because there is so much knowledge in the time between on it. And my wish is that maybe the Universal Council members of these languages, in German I can do it as well as in English in the chat, but for example in Arabic or Italian or French, Polish, Romanian, Spanish, Dutch, post that we have a language group meeting on Friday, 2 p.m., where we have like a coordination meeting for the future growing of the KF Wiki. And everyone is lovely invited to be part of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you. Maybe I add something what I have forgotten. There's so much to say about the whole wiki. We created this start page as a construct with the most important categories, and in these categories are subcategories and pages, and not necessarily every language has just to copy the English wiki. And when I had a little bit a look to the Spanish wiki, for example, where's testimonials? It's not here anymore. We on the English wiki, we made in the testimonials section we split it up in the areas like energy testimonials or environmental testimonials. And for me, it was interesting to see at the Spanish version that the testimonials are split in nation testimonials, like testimonials from Venezuela or from Brazil or whatever. And what I want to point out is the whole wiki is a very, very huge chapter where so much thoughts are in it, where we discussing how to make it. And when we look then to other wikis, we can learn a lot of it. For example, on the Spanish wiki, things made different, or different solutions were made for answering questions, or different articles are on it, and we can then translate these into the English wiki, or from the English wiki then into other languages, and so we can work all together. And the wiki is should be the source of knowledge where we are sure that the knowledge which is on it is mostly correct, because we have so many different pages which on the whole world, Mr. Keshe mentioned like 26,000 in China, and a lot of people are searching on these pages knowledge and informations, and not at all, but a lot of times they get wrong informations or not in time informations, and so the work from us on the KF Wiki is totally important, and the working together between the languages, and also, how I said it, we can learn from each other, from every language, and we have to work together, because together we bring much more forward as only alone. It's difficult for me to speak in English, and sorry if I don't speak that well. I hope you understood what I want to say to you. And please write it in your languages that we have on Friday, the KF Wiki language group meeting at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas.
Flynn, do you know something what I have forgot to say?
No, you did a good coverage. Thank you.
I hope. Thank you.
I think your English was better than many people who speak English as their native language. You did well. Thank you. Still there, Carolina?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Andreas. And thank all the knowledge seekers which are working as teams together. It is changing. And as we say, the more hands, the lighter the work. So anybody has any wishes that we can work on today? Changing for quite a few people that we know that most probably are not in a very comfortable position. I would love if anybody steps forward with a wish. I'd love to create a wish for all our teenagers and young children that can from when the puberty starts till they are about in their mid-20s, they are struggling, they're suffering. And we cannot always, or we do not always see the signs, as we say, on the wall that something is wrong. It can be emotional, it can be the conflicts or the interactions on school level or with friends or with the first boyfriend or first girlfriend. It might be with the first interacting with becoming independent, living on their own, first job. I think it's time to strengthen their field, that they are beautiful young people. So I think it's time to create a wish that they stand in their strength and in their beauty. Who would love to start the wish?
I will, Carolina. It's Peggy. Oh, Rick, do you want to start?
Well, I was going to mention that Estella had just put a wish in, that my wish is that all families find their oasis at home. And perhaps that's a clue to that situation with the young people. If they had their oasis at home, perhaps they would be more, less suffering involved in their transition into adulthood at the family situation. Go ahead, Peggy. I'll put Stella's wish in there. I'm not sure if it's directly related to what Carolina wants here, but go ahead, Peggy.
Stella's wish can be adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful wish, but the wish can be established in the way. My wish is all families are in oasis condition. Is that okay, Stella?
It kind of changes the wish in a bit. It doesn't bring the home into the situation. It doesn't bring the teenagers in a way. Or, I don't know, I guess it does. It includes them all.
We have to bring them in the condition.
Right. It does change her maybe intention of the original wish, because she did specify home. But without home, this means that the oasis will carry around anyone in the family, anywhere they go. I think this being open this way, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very sedated, but covers
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people which don't have a home, but still are families. And it is always where my soul is my home. And I looked at it from that point of view. Home is a very restricted place for, we think and we assume that a lot of people have homes. But I am including the families which are on the road, the families which are in refugee camps, which are still families. So home is only a point of reference for the people which have a home.
Well, Stella mentions in the chat that home is like a sacred, loving place. Home is like mom. Home is the refuge and nurturing place. Home is womb birthing of creation and life. So with those definitions, it doesn't necessarily have to have a physical shape to it. It could be just whatever place you are. You could make your refugee camp your home in a way if you make it your sacred space for that time period.
What if we adjust and we add, my wish is all families are in oasis conditions as a home? Would that sound better, Stella?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's fine. I just feel like my intention was so strong that it's okay. It's in the field anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I truly believe that, I study architecture and this is a feeling that home is not the home we build. The material is the fields that we create. Every family, the way interaction of the members create that feels. There are some homes there irradiate this welcome and everybody feels so great because the family is together in a dancing feels and everybody contribute with their own fields. So my intention was to create that kind of dynamic feel home where you feel it's good to come home. You're always connected to your home. And when kids born in that kind of environment, they nourish very well through life.
Okay, you mentioned the term fields of home. Maybe that is a more correct way that we could put it in here. Wishes all families are in oasis condition in the fields of home, or how we put that, within their own home fields.
I know it's hard to describe, and I'm fine with how Carolina described it, but I just want to amplify that because at one point I think we're going to be able to probably go further with this concept because we are in a process of evolution. So.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's like, look, every woman in each home is almost like the core of the column of the home. So that's why kind of interesting. I think it's we're gonna be able to further ahead, probably clarify all this, but it's like the beginning of the concept, like the oasis and all that. I'm good with how Carolina described it.
Okay, well, we can leave it that way for now, and if you want to change it, we can change it.
And this goes together also like how Mr. Keshe said, the fields is composed by clusters of fields. So basically a home for me is that little clusters of fields that create a unity, like you know, you call the Loves or the Bilbaos or the Johns, and you know, we've been identifying group of people in that way, but not from the fields. And these are the harmonized fields, you know, dancing in a completely beautiful way. So that's why I think this is very strong. I feel it's strong. So it's just for further development later. Probably we're all gonna know how to call it, you know.
Well, Peggy mentioned earlier in the chat, home is where the heart is an old saying. So perhaps we could say, wishes all families are in oasis condition, in the home, in their hearts, or something like that. Or in oasis condition.
I like Mark's in the chat. He has something to do with that he wishes that the children find their closest friend, their soul. Maybe we could incorporate Mark's from the chat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we can put that in.
So home is where the soul is.
That's a good one.
Nice.
I think you've maybe that's a little quote for a new T-shirt there, Peggy. Home is where the soul is. That's a good one.
Keshe Foundation store.
Yeah, I'll have to put that in the KF store.
Bumper stickers for
Sure.
the spaceships.
Full tilt. And we have Mark. How can we put marks so it's more direct? Let's say how about just youth? Just maybe just youth. Youth find their closest friend, their soul. Something like that. It could use some guidance, perhaps. So that's from Mark. Any other comments about what we have here?
if I may, it's very interesting because in my family, our family here, my daughter has been the prodigal daughter, has gone far afield, has done everything that you can possibly do to explore dangerous and difficult situations, has been rebellious all her life. But in the last, well, for about a year, she's been back near to us, but impossible to live with because of her imbalances, aggressions, defensiveness. I sort of see that she failed to transition from a teenager into an adult by, as they say, dropping out of various processes that involves. But just in the last week, a great release has occurred, and friendly or mature discussions have been had. The atmosphere has completely changed, and peace reigns at the moment, and will continue to do so in our family. And it's been a great source of worry and concern for both my good wife and myself as parents. But long ago, we realised we can't force feed our opinions onto our offspring. And I have lately, over the last few weeks and months, been trying to understand how to communicate on a soul level rather than a verbal level, because with the blockages and issues rising violently to the surface, it becomes quite difficult to discuss on a verbal level. So I've been sending my intentions on a soul level, and everything that's being discussed here I've experienced firsthand in the last few months, that the message gets through without force, and somehow or another balance is achieved. We all find our soul. It's always talking to us, but the physicality is sometimes always arguing back or pushing the soul messages away. But eventually the soul is very patient, and the soul is constant and just keeps on whispering, talking. And it's just amazing and magic that my daughter has now heard, I believe, I know, I've seen it, her soul and her physicality are joining together. There's great changes, positive changes afoot. And the other day I said to her, after she had expressed a lot of issues, and instead of trying to correct or advise, my good wife and I just sat and listened. And at the end I said, through all of this, you will shine like a star. And with that, we all agreed. We were exhausted, and we all went and took rest. And amazing, this discussion has come up, and that's my testimonial to the power of the soul, and how to bring the physicality into line, not by force, and not even by words, but by intentions. And I think that could apply across the universe, across the planet, across, once we realise the power of the soul, it's unlimited. And without labouring the point, that's really what I wanted to say. And I really, really thank everybody for this this particular set of wishes, because it's extremely relevant to my situation right now. And I'm so grateful I've had the opportunity to be here today, and I am present.
I am present.
I am present, Doug.
I am present.
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 I am crying.
I am present.
I am present.
Is there something we can put down in black and white here for you, Doug? A one-liner that you can think of?
Well, what Mark said, just let me, tears of joy, by the way. Mark said that youth find their soul, their home, their soul. I think, yeah, closest friend, because parents are close and have, you know, a bond and a relationship, but everyone's real self, their soul, is the best friend they have. And if they forget that and lose that connection, that's when the physical vehicle goes off the rails, and or can go off the rails and get lost in the physical world, which is only illusory and temporary. You know, so the real home and the real friend is us finding our soul and being able to balance the, you know, whatever physicality we manifest, in conjunction with, in consultation with our soul. Now, there's nothing I could add apart, you know, it's just been beautiful this last few wishes. Everyone's done a spectacular job, I think.
Well, what I think is interesting, because I also saw it in my daughter, I have a 23-year-old that when she was 16, she used to steal my car in the night. So I had it too. But,
yeah.
So she kind of, over the weekend, she opened, we were with my son, her, myself, we have dinner, watch a movie. And then we were talking and she opened herself really with deep conversations. And, you know, I just listened and I didn't give opinion. I just said, wow, you know, very intense. And she showed her desire, her goals, you know, where she was going through difficulties, and that was great, I have to say. And I learned, I would say, in the last 10 years, because you want the best for your kids, but you cannot, like you said, you cannot force. You have to support them. That's why I said that wish, because when there is those strong feels at home, those are feels that I think also supports all of the kids to find their own path, always working with the soul, how it is over the weekend, working with the feels, and you know, realign the position where you start to see where you start
You're
to,
breaking up there, Estella. We can't understand what you're saying. Your connection or something is breaking up there.
sorry, I think I said it to the universe. But I think this is a good thing, is because I think
I think you're talking to the universe again, but we're not hearing you. No, I think Estella dropped out there, so she's probably talking to herself and the universe right now, but not to us, except perhaps in her soul. Okay, anybody else like to intervene here? We have Mehran, and you had your hand up there, Mehran, if you'd like to speak, and you have a quote of home is where we have mutual understanding. Did you want to say something, Mehran?
Yes, hello everybody.
Can you get closer to your microphone?
Yes. Good, it's good.
I don't think your microphone is connected or something. It sounds very far away.
Is it good?
No, not much. No, you sound far away from the microphone somehow. Perhaps you have a different microphone selected in the Zoom.
Yeah. So that's good now?
Nope, it's about the same. We can hear what you're saying, but it's very far away and hard to hear.
Okay, so I wanted to make a wish. I just thought of making a wish that with all the changes which will come soon, everybody would accept the changes with open hands and happiness for everybody.
Sorry, you'll have to go through that again, Mehran. You wish for what? For open acceptance?
The changes which are coming soon would be accepted with joy and happiness of everybody. And we rejoice that, and it be a source of happiness for everybody. Right? Did you hear me?
Okay, I've got wish that the changes that occur will be received with open acceptance, joy, and happiness for everybody. Does that work for you?
Yes. Because Mr. Keshe talked about the changes which will happen, and I hope it would be a source of joy for everybody. Happy changes for everybody.
Okay, thank you, Mehran. I am present.
I am present.
I know that Mr. Keshe always, and Mrs. Keshe always talk about serving and have the attitude of unconditional love. and that's the thing we can do. So I hope that we are armed with this YouTube, with this helping ideas, and we pass the changes with happiness and joy. We receive the changes with happiness and joy.
Okay, is there something you wanted me to change with that one I wrote, or you just adding to it there verbally? I think it's okay. Okay. Any more comments? We had one from the live stream. From Mike. Mehran, I'll get you to mute your microphone there if you can. Thanks. Mike says his wish is for the announcement of Jessera and Nessera. If someone can explain what they are. I think it's the I forget what the initials stand for though. It's basically I believe it's the guaranteed income for people on the planet. But someone could explain that if they wish.
Nessera is the website that has to do with outside this planet. Like, seems like there are those who give us advice, something like that, related to.
Sorry, I can barely hear what you're saying, Mehran. The microphone is not good there. You need to restore your microphone properly.
Is the website is on the internet, and it's probably related to outside extraterrestrial people.
Outside what people? I'm sorry, you're cracking up, and it's hard to hear.
Extraterrestrial outside this planet.
Oh, okay, perhaps. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Like the messages and things related to that.
Again, I couldn't hear what you said, so I think you need to fix your microphone there. Okay. Doug says, thank you so much, Estella. Sometimes being a parent can feel very lonely when private issues cannot be aired in public. Thank you for sharing. Okay, is there anything else that wishes that people would like to add? Thinking maybe we should wrap things up here. We're over the 3-hour mark now. Carolina, are you still here?
Yes, I am. I'm always there. When I disappear, I'll let you know. As long as you see my sign somewhere, you know I am present. I am just multitasking and watching and observing the beautiful wishes. You see where Magnus is wishing, if you put will be, then you keep that door open. But if you put received, it's a confirmation. So these are the tiny little things which I try to still adjust when the wishes occur. You see, I wish that the changes that occur
are received.
Yep. There are small adjustments which totally put a different perspective on the wish. I wish that changes. Oh God, I'm gonna run out of battery. Just 1 second. I unplugged myself a bit too fast.
That are occurring, present tense, because they're going on.
I first had to make sure my phone was powered up, otherwise I would have lost all of you. I wish that it changes. I wish that changes. I wish that it changes. What changes?
Well, Merida has mentioned the changes that are coming up that Mr. Keshe has talked about, but these are changes that are currently occurring, actually. Unless there's certain big events, perhaps, maybe she mentioned.
What if we change the changes as challenges? Because they are a challenge for a lot of people. And then it doesn't matter but changes are okay too, because they can appear in different ways. It's just what Matt wanted to adjust. I wish that the changes occurring are received with open acceptance, joy and happiness for everybody. What do you think, Magnus? Is that better?
Hello, is it better now?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
yes,
way better.
Sir.
Thank you.
I was thinking of like there's going to be changes that new for people. Like the changes of humanity, the changes of moral codes, and adaptation with this. And it might be it might be surprising for some people, maybe. And I hope that everybody would be happy with these changes, which would come soon.
Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you.
Rick, thank you very much. Can you repeat what this Jesara and Nesara means?
I'll have to look it up. Just a minute.
I put it in your chat there.
Put it in the chat.
Telegram.
So both of them are global. One's global, one's national. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
It's a Global and National Economic and Stabilization and Reformation Act. That was the original meaning back 20 years ago, to stabilize and reform, is now changed to secure and reform, which is now different intents behind it. So let's see here, let's get some more information. Okay, from Wikipedia here, we can show that, I guess. So NESARA is the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, a set of proposed economic reforms suggested in the 1990s. Includes replacing the income tax with a national sales tax, abolishing compound interest on secured loans, and returning to a bimetallic currency, which results in 0% inflation and more stable economy. It's since been better known as the subject of a cult-like conspiracy theory promoted by Shani Candace Goodwin, doing business as the Dove of Oneness, who claim that the act was actually passed with additional provisions then suppressed. So basically it's tied in between conspiracy and actuality, and I'm not sure what is actually going on with it here.
I don't think that should be until we have more information about this. I don't think that we should be connected to any of this until we go to a deeper depth of this, please.
Okay, so take that one out for now.
Thank you. If somebody can do some research in the background from our team to open it up and bring it in the management meeting, then we can discuss it and see where we're going to go with this, please. Thank you. So, Rick, we are hitting the marker.
I think so.
Goodbye. And you have tomorrow an early start, and I'm coming in the afternoon for the start. And then let's see how the rest of the day will take us on a journey of sharing and teaching and giving knowledge and support to wherever we can.
Yes, indeed. That'll be in the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is 11 p.m. Pacific Time, with the 8-hour time change that's currently happening. And oops, I missed just a second. I'll get the audio back here. There we go.
We have to keep in mind that Europe will change time too at the end of the month. Keep an eye on it, please.
Just a second. There we go. Yeah, so that'll be 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday morning. And people are free to join. If you have something you'd like to show in the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, then that would be welcomed. And otherwise, we'll just see what comes up in that class. Okay, any other announcements before we end today's lovely show? We have someone with the hand up, Fernando. Want to go ahead, Fernando? Do we need a translator? Or hello, Fernando, can you unmute?
I'll have to ask John to translate.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes, ¿me escuchan?
Do we have a translator? John, are you able? I don't see, oh yeah, John's there. Are you able to translate, John? He may not be at his desk there. Can anybody else translate for Fernando?
Bien.
Ursula.
Spanish, maybe Estela or Ursula.
Voy a resumir un resumen. Las almas se comunican al instante. El tiempo de comunicación cero. La paz. Tiempos de paz.
Nobody is available to translate for Fernando?
Estela is doing so, but she's typing it into the chat.
I just arrived. Excuse me. I was a little bit outside because I'm waiting for our host. So, who is Fernando speaking? Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sí, son tiempos de paz.
The time of peace.
Son tiempos de paz donde la humanidad.
The time of peace for the humanity.
La humanidad está entendiendo el significado de la vida.
Humanities and understanding the signification of life.
Siempre estuvo con nosotros todo el conocimiento.
The knowledge has always been with us.
Y la verdad es que cada día, cada persona.
And the truth is that each person, every day.
Cada persona está aprendiendo cada día.
Every person is learning every day.
En lo personal, como un ser humano.
For me personally, as human.
Me queda claro.
It's clear.
Que es un mensaje universal.
That this is a universal message.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando and Ursula.
You're welcome.
Team, for a beautiful session. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Ursula, for the translation. Let's wrap it up, Rick.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody, for attending the 72nd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace on Tuesday, March 26, 2019. And as always, thanks everybody for attending, and thank you, Flint, for hosting today and taking us out with a final message.
Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshfoundation.org/donate.
Plasma products found at keshfoundation.org/store. Soothing, reusable plasma eye and migraine mask. Eliminate eye fatigue and relieve stress in eye area. European certified medical device. Massaging plasma insoles. Bring comfort back to your feet and energize your legs. European CE certified medical device. Antiseptic plasma liquid hand soap. Promotes well-being and relaxation with protective plasma formula. CE certified. One Soul Plasma T-shirt. GAN's formula within the symbols and stripes brings mind, soul, and body into balance. European certified. Pain Relief Pen. Emits a concentrated plasma field at point of pain, efficient up to 3 centimeters below the skin. CE certified. The Magrav's Energizer and Alkalizer raises pH and energizes water through magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Pain Relief Pad, a result of years of research in nanoplasma technology with magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Visit the online store at keshfoundation.org/store or find a distributor near you. Tax and shipping not included.